Hey everybody, just let folks catch up here to the chat. I'm just gonna, something new I'm trying. I was gonna do this kind of thing, something similar to this for Origins Online, which is now not gonna happen. I wasn't gonna paint it exactly this miniature here. I was gonna do a different one, but I figured this is a good practice one. It's easy, it's big, there's not so many colors. So if a couple of folks want to jump on and chat with each other, ask me any questions, I'm probably going to do this maybe for an hour, maybe 2 hours. This is a pretty easy model to paint, I think. I've looked up some patterns, or some schemes, I should say, online for some different stuff. So I'm just going to use contrast paints and probably, I think, 6 or 7 different colors, and that's about it. So we'll just get started here. Go ahead and drop a message in the chat if you can to let me know that you can hear. I saw some people pop on and then then drop off. But some people liked the video on Facebook. I'm actually streaming to Facebook, Twitch, and the YouTube channel all at once. So go ahead and just get started here. And I'll go ahead. So I'm going to do the flesh here, Flesh Terror red. We're just going to get those, just kind of goop that in there pretty good. Like I said, this is going to be, get some water in there, thin it out a little bit. This is just going to be a very simple few set of colors there. So we'll try to get that over here. That was my spot, yep. So this is pretty dark. Looks really dark on the camera there, but that's all right. It does look darker when it's wetter. I'll just get painting. Just starting on the inside of it, because you always want to start on this, especially a model this big. Just get into the little nooks and crannies of it, and try to fill in some of the color. Always work from the inside out, of course. I've had this model sitting around for a while. Just going to check everything. Looks like everything's still online. Sorry for the reach there. All right, some folks watching. Yeah, I've had this model for a little while, and I do have a Khorne army, and I completed the rest of the army. I have a bunch of Blood Reavers. If you're familiar with Age of Sigmar, if you're not, you're gonna be like, "What's he talking about?" But a bunch of Blood Reavers, a bunch of Blood Warriors, a bunch of the heroes. You know, I got a couple of Skull Cannons, a bunch of the Skull Crushers. Or no, I'm sorry, they're Blood Crushers. There's like 2 ways that you can build the big like cavalry mounted units, and I built them all as the demon mounted ones, which I believe is called Skull Crushers, and then the sort of the mortals or the humans riding the demon dogs is called Bone Crushers, I think. I might be mixing up those different names there. But yeah, if you feel free to leave a little comment in there. Everything is showing me green and on all 3 streams there. So if you let me know if it's working, that'd be good for the couple of you that are on. Yeah, so I bought this as a reward for myself for completing the rest of it. And with the move and everything, I just recently moved. And then all the COVID stuff and everything, I just haven't really had a chance to paint. This is the first thing that I've painted since before the move. Oh, there we got a mistake. Which is okay with the contrast. It should just suck right out of there. And, yeah. That's gone there. But yeah, with the move and all that stuff, just hadn't had a chance to sit down and paint anything. The last couple things I did, I think was the last video I did, proper video before the move, was Relic Blade. And I had painted that stuff, of course, and then also a little bit of Kings of War for Mantic. Although I don't think I actually completed any of those yet. A couple are pretty close, but they were kind of, in progress. But yeah, I want to clean those up a little bit too. But I was like, let's paint this big sucker here because, you know, I've been waiting for a while. This is kind of the last piece of my corn army that I wanted to complete. We'll get back in here. We tuck into the detail there. You can kind of see getting into the shoulder. Can you even see that? Nah, not really. This big wing here is casting a shadow. Makes it tough to see, actually. Didn't think about that part, did you, Joel? All right. So I'll get this in here. So I'm just kind of working that in there. So you can see, if you watched at the beginning, you can see the red is kind of getting in there. But we'll start to flesh it out. Once I get more red, I'm just going to go through and do the whole skin. Get that far. Probably should thin this out just a bit. It's starting to be okay though up here. This Flesh Terror red is one of those weird colors. The Blood Angel is a little bit easier to work with, but I just like how this Flesh Terror one sort of ends up. A lot of times it's very rich, thick. I don't know, like a strawberry, whereas the Blood Angel is more of a cherry type of red. But keep painting this here. So let's just have a quick little peek over here, see if everything's still running. I got some more people watching. If you're just joined, please leave a comment. This is streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, because I'm an agnostic in terms of platform. So that's fine. However people are like happen to see my stuff is okay. Just painting this Bloodthirster here. Like I was mentioning a minute ago, it's sort of a reward for myself. I was going to do a live stream like this on Origins Online. I was actually going to paint some of the new miniatures for Gloomhaven, which is the Jaws of the Lion box set, which is coming out. And that's going to be a Target exclusive. That comes with 4 miniature heroes. Of course, the monsters are standy still, but they're pretty nice. I have them primed up. I was going to do one of those for the live stream, and that color looks pretty black on there, doesn't it? You know, because I don't have the color correction I normally do with my videos. If I back it up a little bit there, let's see if you can see. Yeah, it still looks pretty dark on screen. It is not that dark on here, so I might have to do, for the next stream, figure out the color balance on that, because usually when I do my normal videos, there is a little bit of color balancing that I do in Premiere. Let's just refresh the chat. Maybe it's not showing up over there. Let the chat load a little bit there. Okay, maybe now's a good time to chat. I don't know. Maybe my chat wasn't being refreshed. This was working yesterday perfectly once I got the kinks worked out. And we're just going to paint this here. Let's see if I can't get down. There we go. There's my mark. But there you can kind of see it. It sort of casts a shadow on itself there, which is unfortunate because the lights are up here and then over here a little bit. But we're just knocking out the flesh here. So once I get all that in here, I mentioned at the beginning that just doing all contrast with this one is probably about 6 colors, and this is an easy one to bang out. Let's just have a peek over here, see what's happening over on the streams. Looks like, okay, everybody's watching on all 3 of them. At least there's a couple people. And if you can leave a comment, let me know if you can hear me. Like I said, everything was working before. Get the back of the sucker's leg here. So I saw that they opened registration. Speaking of online conventions, they opened the registration for virtual con or something. It's basically Board Game Geek and the Dice Tower getting together. Seems pretty cool. They're charging money for it though. But from what I can see, you can get it to the point where it's basically free. There's some discount codes and stuff like that. So, you can't always expect everything for free, but I thought that was interesting that they were doing it and charging money. Origins Online was not going to charge money. And they had a lot of talent and, well, talent. I'm not sure what the right word is. A lot of folks, I don't like throw myself in the word talent, whatever. But a lot of folks contributing to that one. Oh, well. But they weren't charging for it at Origins Online. And I think Gen Con Online is going to be free as well. Not too sure about that. They're doing something a little different where they're having folks create events and stuff. I haven't looked into it. But it looks like you can create an event or like a meetup kind of thing and hook it into Gen Con Online, and I'm not sure how that's supposed to all work together. But I think it's going to be free, but I'm not sure if all the specific events are going to be free or not. Anyway, it's a crappy situation all around. I did watch a bit of the Board Game Geek online thing that they did to kind of take the place of the BGG Spring. They actually did a really good job, I thought, of that. In general, the only thing I would critique that one with is when they would transition from one presenter to the next, there was kind of a lot of dead air. I think they could do nicely. I thought it was perfect, actually, other than that transition period. And it would be nice to have something where they went back to like some producer/host type people that could, maybe have a little trivia or do some engagement, whatever it is, with the people watching to kind of keep you interested. Because a lot of the presentations were good and they were snappy, and the folks that they brought on, the publishers and whatnot, were good. Oh, there's a chat there from YouTube, Sean. This is from Warhammer Age of Sigmar or Warhammer Fantasy. So yeah, it's a Khorne faction. It's a Bloodthirster, which is a demon, obviously. And I'm just painting it with contrast paints right now as sort of a reward for myself. I have not painted in a few months because I just got done moving a house, and the last thing I painted was probably in February, and that was some Relic Blade and Kings of War stuff. And then this is kind of the last sort of centerpiece guy for my Khorne army. I've got a 2,000 odd some point Khorne army, and this is sort of the big, the big hitter there. And so this is my reward for finishing the rest, dozens of the little guys. And I don't know if I just mentioned, but I'm painting it with contrast paints, and probably about 5 or 6 colors only. It's a little bit tricky here because it's something about the lighting here. It's this. I'm not painting black, and it's a red. It's not that dark of a red. So I don't know if this would be better or worse if I move it. It's not focusing that great, but yeah, it is a deep, rich red, and it's like a deep strawberry red. So it is kind of hard to pick up there. Oh, thanks, Tiffer. Move went very well. Thank you very much for asking and or mentioning it. Oh yeah, and this can be used. That's true. This can be used for 40k as well as for a demon army. That is very much the truth. And I think if I cobbled together all of the Age of Sigmar stuff, mostly from like Silver Tower and the Warhammer Quest games, plus my Khorne stuff, I might be able to field Not a 2,000 point demon army, but I could get close. Like I could fill it out. I don't know if it would be any good because it'd just be kind of like random stuff, you know. But we'll see when 9th edition comes out. Maybe I have a good army there. I'm not sure. But yeah, I should check that out. I'm excited about 9th edition. It looks like it's coming out pretty soon. You know, gosh, I'd have to guess. We're getting towards July here. It's probably, maybe they were planning on a Gen Con release, but, you know, with everything going on, I don't know that they had a real solid plan. There, you can see me painting underneath that wing, sorry. I'm trying to get this arm under here. And it's a little tricky. I'm just trying to get all the flesh. I'm knocking it out with this Flesh Terror Red. I'm trying to get it out before I do the army. Just reading some comments here. Yeah, I'm painting this, like I said, this is like going to be 5 colors, 6 colors maybe, on this, and I think it's going to look pretty decent because I've been pulling up some schemes online, and I'm like, these, you know, they're old pictures from years ago, and I'm like, if I could do exactly that with contrast and like 6 colors, and get pretty close. Yeah, so the contrast I think will look okay because there's a lot of bumps here because Matthew's there saying in the chat on YouTube that you know, the big surfaces are a little tricky with contrast, but this has got all kinds of bumps and stuff, so it'll just pick up all that stuff really good. So we'll see. I can always just put the base coat back on it, and if it screws up. Yeah, I'll take some photos as well of this. I was going to try to knock this out in a couple hours. I'll probably stream here. I've been streaming for, I don't know, I'm not sure how long here. Does it tell me? About 20 minutes. And so I was planning on doing this for about 2 hours, and I should get close. And then I'll finish it up here either tonight or, you know, a little bit later this week. And then I'll post some pictures on Instagram and stuff. And I'll probably go back into it. They might be honest, that's kind of hard to get in some of these. I'll do that off camera maybe. But, you know, I might go back in actually with some highlighting and stuff and things like that. Oh well, I'm going to miss. One thing that's nice about contrast is it's easy to fix a mistake. Which I just did. Oh, thanks. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name there. Gel Van Camp. I appreciate your comment there on the lockdown videos. They definitely were a nice outlet for me. Because, you know, really the lockdown didn't affect me, you know, in terms of like the YouTube side of things. It was more moving that had to move, and just a very weird timing, you know, with like, I've been working. I'm still working from home. I do, you know, computer programming, and the office is basically telling us you plan on working from home until like September, you know, maybe later, because it's a type of job you don't really need to be in an office necessarily. But you know, so I've been working from home this whole time, and I've been in the office probably 4 times since March 10th, because we use. Well, I program like meters, you know, for your gas meter, water meter, and all that stuff. So sometimes we got to go in and do some testing with some actual equipment and whatnot. So, but when I go in, it's a building that has like 400 employees in it, and you know, I go in there. I think there's like 5, you know, at any one time when I go in there. Move this a bit. That is a good question. This configuration here is the Wrath of Khorne. I'm pretty sure it's the Wrath of Khorne thing. The one that, so you can kind of get a look at it here. Yeah, I'm 90% sure it's the Wrath of Khorne one. And I can see I made a mistake on the axe there. So we'll take a look. So one thing you can do here is you get the old Grey Seer, because I sprayed it with the Grey Seer primer, and oh no, I made a mistake. But just take the Grey Seer base coat and then slap it over the top of that. There. Yeah, and that's, you can see it's gone. Just let that dry before I go touch it again. Well, thanks for asking about the move, Nick. Yeah, I'm all settled in, and it's yeah, we're in here. You're looking at the new studio, so to speak, and this is the first thing that I've had a chance to paint since I got done. But yeah, everything's good. Everything's all right. Nobody I know is sick or anything, with the coronavirus or anything like that. So that's good. Nobody that I know real personally, anyway. Anybody that I do know of, like an acquaintance, it's all been very mild cases, nothing too serious. So that's good. It's a very, very frustrating disease in a way. You get it, and then some people are like, I don't even know I had it, and then other people kills them. It sucks. Oh, more chats. Hey, Marshall. I don't know about gameplay of Frosthaven. I'm going to do something probably for the Jaws of the Lion, which is a Gloomhaven sort of standalone expansion that's a target only. For now, I don't know if it's forever a target only exclusive, but I think for a while at least, it's going to be target only. I have that. I was going to paint one of those figures for Origins Online, which is not going to happen. And so I thought, well, let me just test this whole thing out, because they were having me use this different software setup, which was pretty fancy. And so now I was like, you know what? Let me try to do this and just get on. And because, the new games, I've got some new games in, but I haven't really had a chance to play them because my game group, which is over in Washington State, I live in Idaho. Idaho is much more relaxed in terms of getting together, in terms of how you can get together. But in Washington, it's a little bit of a different story. But so yeah, my main game group hasn't gotten together, and I've seen my folks a few times. They're both older, so they're both kind of at risk, but one of them is a little more at risk. So we've been trying to, keep it separate, and that's really the groups of folks I play games with. It's my game group on Thursdays in Spokane, over in Washington, and then my folks. And kids are all moved out of the house and stuff, so I don't play with them too much. But yeah, so I got some new games. A few, not many, because there's not a lot of games being put out, but just the chance to play them. So I'm like, what am I going to do content-wise? But yeah, so just to clarify, John, on the Frosthaven, so there's obviously Gloomhaven, the original game. Then there's Frosthaven, which was kickstarted maybe a month ago or so. And then there's also Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion, which is an expansion for just Gloomhaven. But it's also standalone, and it'd be very cheap. I think it's going to be like $40 MSRP. Don't quote me on that, or it might be $50. I might be misremembering that. But it's going to be very cheap. I have the box here. So Gel is giving you the details there in the chat, but it's kind of a miniature Gloomhaven. There's still a ton of stuff in the box. Let me just grab it real quick. I can just show you guys super fast. So I have here a couple of the miniatures. Let's set him aside here. So here's one of the miniatures here. I don't know. Here, I can tell you. This guy's name is Hatchet. You can kind of focus on there. I don't know what kind of characters these are. I haven't really dug into too much detail. So there's Hatchet, and you can see his character card there. Move that down a bit. Looks like a rogue type character. And then you have here Void Warden, which is kind of a mage character. Void Mage. And we'll grab her miniature here. These are primed with the Gray Seer as well, but this is what they pretty much look like. It's like a gray plastic. Sorry, that one's a little hard to focus on. And here is Redguard, which looks like kind of a tanky warrior type. And then we'll hold him up here like that. See if that'll focus better. Yeah, a little bit. So that's him. And then last we have, what are these called again? I forget what the names of these are. Oh, quarteril, like little gnomish type things. This is a demolitionist there, and you can see she's teeny. Let's see if I can move her up a little bit. Hard to kind of get the detail on her a little bit. So those are the 4 hero miniatures that come in the game. And then here's the box. I'll show you the box. I think there's been some other videos on it, but it's pretty good size there. Let's see if I can do it like this. It's kind of zoomed in, so I'll do it on my little picture-in-picture here. So you can see it's about the size of my head. Let's go over here. Jump down to that. Here we go. Oh, that's distorted. Anyway, so that's that. You can kind of see the thickness of it like that there. So it's a good, and this is full. Like has all kinds of stuff in it. And it gives you like little instructions for packing everything away. Let's put these up to the side. Yeah, so I think it has 25 scenarios and stuff in there. And so it's a little campaign. And instead of a map that is, cardboard pieces, it's actually a book. So it's similar to some of those Plaid Hat games where you play on inside the book and you move figures around on the book. It does that kind of thing. So like, oh gosh, what was the one game? Some of you will probably know what I'm talking about in the chat, but you play through the stories in the book and you kind of move through the book itself, it's pretty cool. And I've just kind of done a flip through of it. Because the idea was that I was going to do some painting videos for it. Like I said, for Origin Online, but that kind of fell through. So I haven't really focused in my head on the gameplay or anything of it. Not near and far. That's a good question. Or good guess. It's the Plaid Hat games do that. The guy that designed Mice and Mystics has done several of these games, where he Stuffed Fables. That's it. Stuffed Fables. I guess Near and Far is kind of the same. Near and Far has a book where you kind of like read entries, but Stuffed Fables you're like playing the figures on the book, like on the map. And then he came out with another one, the Cosmonauts, something like that. Comanauts, where you're like exploring somebody's brain, like that's in a coma, kind of like an Inception style thing. Yeah, so those were kind of interesting. But whoops. Well, I'll fix that in a minute. But that's how the Gloomhaven Draws the Line is going to be. You're playing on a book. Oh, so Sean's asking on YouTube if this is my first live stream. It is not. I have done one in several years. I did a couple of gameplay videos sort of as an experiment years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. And it didn't really go very well because the internet connection at my house was not really great for it. And I had a different laptop that wasn't as powerful, so it really struggled. It was a nightmare, to be honest, on this end to get things working in a good way. So I did probably like 9 or 10 of them sporadically over the course of a few years ago, and then just kind of gave up on it because it was just too much hassle, and the quality wasn't good. It's just I'm not gonna put a lot of effort into something that ends up I'm not happy with. So this is all right. But I got the idea for this because I was going to, like I said, paint one of these figures for Origins Online as a live stream. So just, got me thinking that direction. And I spent some time trying to figure it out. And now since that fell through, I was like, well, that was a waste of time. So let me try this out here. So yeah, somebody mentioned that this is a good color for Bloodthirster. It's Flesh Terror Red. And it is coming off way darker. Like it looks almost black on my screen when I can see the playback here. I'm like, eesh. Like it's way darker on that screen than it is here. But I'll definitely finish this out and take some pictures and post them on Instagram and whatnot. I'm just curious here because it shows all the comments. Okay. because I'm streaming on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch all at once, which is cool, I guess. But all the comments are coming from YouTube, and that's because most people are watching on YouTube. Just was checking that, the other ones were still working. And let me check. I have a reference picture here. Right. Okay. That's how I wanted to do that. So let's do this one. I think the skin is pretty much done. Man, that looks so dark. I will not paint your talisman figures. All right. Okay, well, let's just leave that be. Let's switch to a different color since that's coming off so dark. And I'm going to switch to Griff Charger Gray. And we're going to just hit some of the metal pieces there. And I need to get some contrast medium. We'll take that out here. And I'll shift these around a bit. Because I don't want to go too thick with this. I want to make this very metallic. This is sort of the secret sauce here. So we're going to experiment here on his headpiece. So we're going to do the old cheap fashioned way here. Cheap old fashioned. Just slap some of that on there. The contrast medium. Right on the figure. Since it's a big figure. And we'll get some of this on here. And just take care of that. So we're just going to throw some Griff Charger Gray on here. And this just thins it out right on the model. So this trying to go, you can kind of go for like a sort of what do they call it, non-metallic metal. So it's basically that means you don't use a pure silver or gold paint, but you sort of approximate it, I guess you could say, with non-metallic paints. Yeah, that's a good one. So a light red. Josh is asking about a light red in contrast. So the flesh terror here, this is the darker of the two like primary reds. There's also Blood Angel red, and like flesh terror is more like strawberry, and then Blood Angel is maybe more like cherry. So Blood Angel is it's lighter, but you're right, it's not really like a light red. Now does this show up at all? I think my lighting might not be so great for this. Okay, I don't want to mess with it too much right now. I might have to rethink this idea here. Might be because there's too much going on in the back, maybe. Maybe I need a little bit more. I thought that would be alright. So I'm just going to hit the back of it in here. It's going to be hard to see that, but it's going to tag the back of that with that Griff Charger Gray. And I'm not going to put the contrast medium there because it's definitely like in the shadows of all these wings and stuff. So there's no reason to lighten it up too much. But yeah, as far as a light red goes, maybe hitting contrast medium with some Blood Angels red. But it also kind of depends on the primer that you're doing it on top of. So on a Gray Seer, if you want something to be really bright, what I've done on some models before is like prime with Gray Seer and then hit certain areas with the base paint of Wraithbone. This is the base of Gray Seer. I've got the Wraithbone one around here somewhere. But yeah, just hit it with that. And then go over the top of that, because that's just going to kind of lighten. It's like a little light shining underneath, the paint in a way, so that Wraithbone will really shine more, or even white. Just throw down some white on top of it, and then go over the top with the Blood Angel red, and that'll lighten it up. I mean, it's not perfect. It's one thing about contrast paint. It's hard to like mix paints. Like you can't really mix in white with it to lighten it up. I get Marshall's asking where I get my paints from, and I usually just get them from the store down the street. Or now I've got a couple of local game stores around me, and there's one that's over in Spokane in Washington. I live in Idaho, and I really like that store. I kind of know that owner. He used to have a store here in Idaho. He used to live in Idaho, and we've been pretty friendly for 15 years. And so I like going to his store and playing and getting stuff there. But if I need some paint, I'll pop into the one locally here in town, which is like 5 minutes from my house. And those people are fine too. I just, don't really know them. And yeah, just get paint there. Or from the store over in Spokane. Yeah, how's that looking there? You can't really tell, but it's got a gray metallic thing going on for his head. So now we're going to hit up some of these chess pieces in here. Alrighty. It's getting there. I was thinking a big model would be easier, but maybe not. I think I don't have the right sort of setup here. It's okay, but I don't usually buy my paints online though. Although I did buy a big set of Vallejo paints years ago online. I think I got it from eBay even. Yeah, this looks okay. So, yeah, okay, so on the chest, I'm actually going on with a little bit more color, saturate a little bit more. Because, yeah. Just making it a little bit darker than the headpiece. Because there's no contrast medium on this chest piece here. But there is on the headpiece. So we're going to try to hit this up. Again, this is Griff Charger Gray. Out of curiosity, how is the audio? My voice and everything. Just curious, does it sound decent? Or is it... I got a new mic here. So, I actually bought it for work. But then I said, well, I spent a little bit more than I need to. Because I was like, I think I could use this for some YouTube stuff. And it seems okay. Thanks, Nick. Thanks, Josh. Thanks, Jelly. Thanks, MC Chili. Speaking of chili, I'm making chili tomorrow night for dinner. Cincinnati chili, if you know what that is. Basically it's spaghetti, but instead of marinara sauce, I use chili. I sound like Optimus Prime. I don't normally sound like Optimus Prime. That's cool. Whatever that is, I'll keep it. I'm not sure why I sound like Optimus Prime. I'll take it though. Yeah, so all the comments are from YouTube. Maybe I'll just stream to YouTube. Don't worry about the other two. See, this is kind of a bummer because these wings cast this huge shadow. I'm doing his thigh piece there. Yeah, see that shadow? Damn. But yeah. So just doing the armor pieces here. I mean, this is almost one. This model has so many little bumps and stuff that Oh, you're just joking. Okay. That you could just really like cake on the contrast and probably. I'm being probably a little bit more careful is what I'm saying than I need to be. But that's the thing about contrast, man. You can just you can get away with too much sometimes because it's just if you're like I need to get this done or I think of a few ways. So if you're trying to build like an army or something for Warhammer or whatever and win an award, then no, don't use contrast. But if you need to knock out an army, or if you're like I just want to get this board game painted, because you really like playing with painted miniatures in your board game. I just want to get done. And you're not worried about winning awards, but you still want it to look, decent. Then this stuff's perfect for that. And that's kind of where I'm at. Like I do enjoy painting, and sometimes I've taken a lot of time on a figure. Just kind of for my own enjoyment. Sometimes you get lost in a figure, right? And the time just disappears and you spend time doing details and everything. But other times I'm like, I want to get this done and just have it done and just get it to the table. And that's usually my thought process, is just knocking it out. So contrast is, you could say it's made me lazy, but I don't think so. I'd rather be doing this other thing. Yeah, exactly. MC's talking about painting your last 40 blood letters. Just dunk them. If you could like get a big pot of, Flash Terror, Blood Angel Red, just dunk it in there and smooth out and done. Paint like the blades gold or something, and then you're done. And, add a couple of highlights, and it's going to look okay. Like, look all right. I don't know. Everybody has a tolerance for that sort of thing. Okie dokie. So some of these pieces in here are bone and stuff, and golden that I want to be those colors. So yeah, okay. Oh, let's do this big old axe. Do I want the axe to be... I don't want it to all be bone. We're going to have some of this be metal, but I am going to throw some... Use the bigger brush here a little bit. Some contrast paints right on this. Or contrast medium, I should say. I'm just putting this clear contrast medium on here. Thanks, Marshall. Yeah, I'll be doing something on Jaws of the Lion one day. Got to get a plate. At least I can solo Jaws of the Lion, which I just need to get around to doing. I did enjoy the first Gloomhaven. It's a great game. Yeah. See, this is actually probably really hard to pick up on the camera. Is the way because it's a very subtle color on that blade there. You can kind of see. The problem is that behind it is this gray wing because it's primed in gray sear. But that's going to be a black. So maybe some of this will pop better if I hit those with a black. Yeah. Yeah, very non-metallic metal looking things. Alright. And we'll just hit the back here real quick, get it done, because I'll forget that it's there. Oops. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'll do that there. I'll tell you what I will do. I am going to switch gears. Okay. Well, I'm at a sort of a catch-22, excuse me, because these spines on the wing, I was hoping to just make red. I don't want them to be... Do I want them to be bone? No, because it's not really bone. It's like tendons. So I was just going to make them red, but Gosh, I'm not sure yet. Now I'm doubting myself. Well, let's do his hand. You know, when I paint, it's like, you know, as you start to add colors, it's like, I don't know about this. I thought I would do this color, but now I don't want there to be too much red, you know. See how we're doing his hand, the top of his hand, because I missed that earlier. Get this in here. All right. Oops. There we go. Let's wipe that right away there. Okay. See, also the one nice thing about contrast is I'm going over his whole hand in here, and then I've covered up some of his nails, but that's just because, you know, whatever, I'm just trying to knock it out. Now I can go back over it with the Gracier base and then put on like Skeleton Horde or something like that to fix it up, which is easy peasy. So if you go over the lines, no big deal. Ugh, so much red tucked under here. All right. What am I else on? Oh, missing this other arm here. Get that tucked in there. Alrighty. Just gonna dab in the top there, which nobody will ever see, but I will. And let's see here. We're gonna do this hand right there. I wonder if I should flip this over. Let me just try something real quick here. I thought the white would be better, but I don't usually paint on the white side, as you can see here. That's the side I normally paint on. Is that? Actually, does that look better with this pink messy background, or does the white look better? If you don't mind my asking. I don't know. I might try to get. I think that's too much crap going on in the background there. Maybe it isn't. Maybe I should buy another board. I've seen they have like the black ones, and then the white one, or the green one, dark green ones. You can get. Maybe I'll try one of those colors. See if that makes it pop better. Thanks, Zombie Dad. I appreciate the comment. Now, I did do a review of the Thru last week, which is a cooperative trick-taking game. That was the first review I'd done in quite some time, quite some months. It's an excellent game, which I played a lot of on Tabletop Simulator, because I haven't had a chance to play in person, because everybody's at home. And excellent game. We probably played 4 dozen hands of it. Quite a few. Several nights we played, probably 20 hands of it, something like that. The pink background looks a little better. Okay, thanks, John. Yeah, it does seem to pop a bit more. It definitely softens that red. That red, you prefer the other side. Okay. Well, I don't know. Now there's two people disagreeing. I don't want to cause a fight in the chat. All right, I'll tell you what. I'm going to leave it here for now, and then I'm going to go back in a little bit. So maybe people can get used to this one, and then I'll go back to the other one. But I think I will go buy a mat that is a different color. So you can kind of see him. I'll tell you what, let's try this. I don't really need that matte because there's black. How's that? That's actually a little bit better. I'll scoot this, because if I get paint on this mat, it doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me. This is just a black mat that I never use for anything anymore. And so if I get, I'll just, throw paint on it. You won't really see it unless it's a bright paint. And the contrast paint's not even going to show up. It's just going to suck right into it. Oh, you like the black? Okay, good. The same people that disagreed before? Okay. Zombie Dad's asking how the move went. The move went good. I'm in the new place. And, yeah, it's going great. You know what I'm going to do? Sorry to, do this on the fly with everybody. I think I'm going to scoot some of this stuff away. Let's scoot that over here. Oh, yeah. That's actually a lot better. So you can see that the red is not black, because this is black. And then this is red. It's a dark red, though. Okay. Cool. All right, I'll leave the black then. Okay. Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. All right, so touch that up. Speaking of black, let's just go ahead and jump into... Where's the Black Templar? There we go. Because I'm struggling on the color that I want these sort of spines to be here. I know I want the wings black. I don't know if I want the spines to be bone or red, the same red. Not sure. I might want a bigger brush. I want to cover more ground here. Nope. Some of these are a little bit... Yeah, this might be too big. We'll see. This one's a little old and dinged up, but not too bad. Okay. Alright, let's have a peek here, see how black looks. Those wings. There we go. Sorry. I've got this little paint holder here. I don't know if you guys have seen that. There's a 3D printer thing, so that if I knock it, it doesn't spill these contrast paints all over the place. Yeah, MC Chili, I will definitely, I plan to stream for about 2 hours. We're going on about an hour. And I was planning to stream for about 2 hours. And I don't think I'll finish this. But in those 2 hours, I should get pretty close. And then I'll post on Instagram and stuff when I'm done. Yeah, that's the thing too. Is the wetness of it kind of throws it off. You're right as well, because once it dries up, it's got this sort of... Whoopsie. One thing I like about contrast is I can erase it with my finger, because I went over the line there on the spine. See, and it kind of softens it up. You can still faintly see it, but yeah, I can go over it with the gray sear. But that's pretty okay. It's a little shiny, right? But I mean, you can see it picking up some of the texture there. So if we back out a bit, I lost my mark because I got rid of that. It's about there, yeah. So, yeah, it's all right. So yeah, I'm doing black here on the flaps. And then on the back too, I'm going to do black. But I'm going to do like a goldish brown on these symbols, which you can kind of see them there. There. So I'm going to do black there. But then I'm trying to figure out if I want to do red on like this little spine here or do bone. I don't know. I kind of think red. That's what I initially thought. Then I thought maybe I should do bone. But yep, I've spilled a contrast bottle and a few bottles of wash, the shades, and that stinks because you just wasted like $7 or $8. I mean, not all of it, but pen's in the way. Yeah, Bloodthirster is a weird kind of model because it's got, lots of detail and stuff, and, it's a big model. But then when you look at it, it's like, how much of that do I really want to spend time on? Gordo, I do not spend weeks planning my color schemes. I'm like one to get it. I like it painted. I like the process of painting, but to me, the end product, the end result, is to play it and play with the painted figures and stuff. I do like painting it. Just like I was about to say that I spent a lot of time on the. I'm trying to think of his name. The Stormcast guy with like the huge wings, and he's like he throws the comets. Oh my god, I can't remember the name of the model. What is that thing called? If you play Age of Sigmar, you know exactly what I'm talking about. He has Galmaraz. He wields that. Yeah, I don't know. I can't remember the name of it. Jeez. I spent a lot of time on that, hours and hours, like a week straight of painting. So I did get into that one. That's one I can think of I got into a lot of. But, yeah, this one's kind of drying out there. You can kind of see some of the colors. A little bit of shine still. And I always go over these with the matte finish, because contrast can have a little bit of a sheen to it. I use the Storm Shield from GW. I got kind of sick of spray varnishing my figures. I'll still do that. Like I'll spray varnish like terrain and stuff. Or if I switched pretty much to Storm Shield because I like how that looks. It's maybe not cost efficient, but I don't really cake it on. Bone spines will be high contrast. Oh. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like there'd be too much red. Like if I have red and then red here, So I do a bone. Yeah, that's good because that's much lighter. That the bone, the skeleton horde color, it'll be much lighter, and I can even lighten it up a little bit more. You know what I was talking about earlier in the video is I could go back over this with the Wraith Bone base coat on top of this because this is all gray sear, and then paint that, and then paint the skeleton horde on top of that, and that'll help lighten it up even further. I don't think I want to make it that light though, because I don't really expect that a demon has the cleanest bones. Let's see here. Okay, so that's kind of one wing, the front of the wing done. It's still a little wet. But you can now see that's making the red look better. Still not that dark, I swear to you. This red is not that dark as it looks there. But we're getting there. Tinge of yellow, yeah, I agree. I'll let this side dry here, and then I'm going to go over here and do black on this side. This is where I want my Citadel stand. They need a big one of these, so I can just hold this without touching the miniature. Just lay down some black here. So what does anybody else play AOS in the chat, or 40K, or Necromunda, or Warcry, or anything like that? I know my channel's not primarily Games Workshop stuff. I have a tendency to review their stuff, though. I do enjoy pretty much most of the stuff they put out. I like. Kill Team. You just buy miniatures? You don't actually play the games? You just paint them? Oh, I see. You just buy them. I got you. I got you. Yeah, Kill Team I like a lot too. Okay. So, hey, you buy and paint just AOS or which game there, Chili? While he's answering, yeah, I love Kill Team. That's my preferred 40k. I do have a Deathwatch army and kind of a Gene Stealer Cult army, but I like Kill Team. I have like 8 different Kill Teams, something like that, 8 or 9. I really enjoy playing that one. Night Vault. Well, Night Vault's cool. I like that Warhammer Underworld stuff. Josh has mentioned there. Night Vault. That's cool stuff too. That's some good, hitting those up with contrast. I knocked out so many warbands with that contrast. If you're curious about it, I did a contrast video like right last year or whatever when the contrast paints came out, and I had a couple of warbands sitting there that I hadn't painted yet. And boy, I knocked them out pretty quick with contrast. It was really cool. What's Wrath of Kings? Is that the Cool Mini or Not game? Wrath of Kings? I think Gordo said that. It rings a bell. Yeah, I would like to have gotten into Adeptus Titanicus. Chili mentioned that. It's just, man, you can't play every miniature game. So that's kind of the main reason. I really like the look of the mechanics of that game, though. Like, you can get really crunchy with your different mechs and all that kind of stuff. And I'd like to try Battletech as well. They have those starter boxes. I don't really like those miniatures, though. But, whatever. It seems like a fun game, though. But Adeptus Titanicus, on the other hand, looks like a really cool game. Dead on Arrival. When you say Dead on Arrival, are you saying that Wrath of Kings was dead on arrival, like it just came and then nobody played it kind of thing? I assume that's what you meant. I see. You just collect mostly GW miniatures. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, that's what I do. I mean, I do play it, but there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, just I wouldn't shy away from the fact that I like just getting them and painting them as well, because their miniatures are just neat, by themselves. Oops, sorry, I'm getting kind of carried away here. Hey, Ian. How are you? Shouldn't you be drawing something? Just joking. There we go. So I got the wings. It's a little wet on this side and that side. This might be a bad angle for this miniature. Yeah, that red still looks really, really dark on the video. It's not quite that. If I get close. Oh, that's all right. Yeah, it looks a little dark. Not too bad. So if I back up a bit. So we're getting there. How long to dry? I mean, I don't want to. This is the first one that I did out of all of these flaps. And I don't know if that's been about 10 minutes. This one is close to dry. Like, there's still some wetness. You can definitely see it right there. If I go up to here, I mean, it's a little bit tacky up here. Like, it's not 100% dry. Like, I kind of messed it up a little bit. But, yeah, I mean, half hour, glue putting it on. But all these red pieces, which I did, this is all 100% dry right now. You wouldn't want to touch it too much without, varnishing it, because it'll peel it right off. Yeah, Wrath of Kings Kickstarter. That's the tricky thing, about Kickstarters. And I've talked to the guy in Spokane. The guy that owns a shop. I need a drink. My tongue's getting a little bottled up here. But he is not. I mean, it's a pretty common story, but he's not a fan of Kickstarters because it's. I mean, he's not like he doesn't hate them, but it's just they do nothing for him in his shop, and he can't really participate. And it's tricky, even if they have like a retailer reward level. That's still, it's still of a strange. It's a strange situation to be in, but that's a whole conversation. Not vodka and lemonade, just water. Really, with some of that fruity squirt stuff in it. All right, so there's the flaps. I'm not going to bother with the back because not right now. So I tell you what I will do is I will hit this up with that skeleton horde. Let's see how that goes. Ian O'Toole says he is drawing pirates right now. I'd ask you what game, but you probably can't tell me. And you certainly can't probably tell it on YouTube. Are you on YouTube? Yeah. On YouTube. Or any other social media platform. Maybe you can. Alright, so we're going to hit this up here. Pull this down. See, now it's dry enough that I can get in here and paint next to it without, blending them together. Just I wouldn't want to touch it with my hands. Yeah, there's a little bit of yellow in that. Go all the way out to the end here. Let's have a peek. Okay. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's okay. That's okay. How's that look on the camera? Yeah, you can't really tell too much. Let me get a few more of these done. And there's a lot of bone up in here. It's tricky to show that. This miniature just casts too many shadows on itself to film correctly. Oh well. Oh yeah, Ride the Rails. Josh is mentioning that. I have a copy of that right there behind me. I just got that game from Capstone Games, as well as Stickum, which I've already played years ago as Stickeln. It's a great game. Definitely recommend Stickum. But I'm very excited to play Ride the Rails. That looks really cool. And the art is definitely good. I agree with that 100%. And then what was the other game that they just came out with? That Ian, you did the art for that one too. What was the name of that? That was a good one too. Another Winsome Train game. Can't remember the name of it. Oh, you haven't got your copy yet. That's outrageous. Seems like designers and artists are always the last to get the copies. Something quite wrong with that. I don't want to get you all fired up though. Let's see there. Yeah, that's looking better. Yeah, Ride the Rails looks really cool. I like how it's sort of streamlined out all the auctioning and stuff like that. Irish Gauge. That's a fun one. That's more traditional, Chicago Express, German railways, winsome-y kind of game. Queen, you see Queen Games put out a lot of them type games. What was the other one? Paris. There's a Paris one, Paris Connection, something like that. That's a pretty good one too. I got to be kind of in the mood to play one of those. Like I got to be like, let's do math, and not always in that mood. Oh, I forgot you were from Australia, Ian. Yeah, that's true. Alrighty, let's see how this looks. Finish this out. Just knock this color out. Alright, how's that look? Yeah, it's still kind of wet and glossy. Need to put some. I need to really let this dry overnight, really, and then let it put some matte varnish on that, because that'll take the edge off. I should get back in here and paint that red, because there's some muscly arm bits that come up here on the wing. That needs to be red. Oh, Zombie Dad, you're like one of the few people on Earth to thank me for exploding kittens. I tell this story often on the channel, but this guy sent me a message that he unsubscribed from my channel because I gave a favorable review to Exploding Kittens. Lacked integrity, something like that. I was like, wow. I mean, that's okay. That's not, as things go, that's not a huge deal in the world, but it's just like, okay, that's fine. It's really fun, though. Like, there's no strategy. I mean, there kind of is, but there's no strategy. So, I mean, you can. It's like a shell game. You're playing a shell game with each other. It's like, where did they hide the exploding kitten? And, did you put it right back on top, or did they shove it at the bottom of the deck? It's just super fun. That's always a good time. Getting people to like hurt themselves in a way without actually hurting anybody can be fun. That's like why people like to watch people trip and fall. This is much more benign than even that. Yeah, kids love that stuff. James, thanks for asking. The move was good. Move was fine. You can see me in the new studio here. This is the first thing I've had a chance to paint. Can you see that? Not really. Just getting this back arm. Here we go. The back arm thing. There. Because that is part of his arm. Yeah, the move was good. Very weird timing in terms of, everything going on Earth. And then being like, I'm going to try to move house. But it was just, apart from, COVID-19 and all this other stuff going on, everything else was the perfect time to move for us. So thankfully that stuff sort of outweighed COVID-19, I guess. And we're in Idaho, and Idaho has been thankfully somewhat spared. I don't want to talk about this too much, but in the south there, in southern Idaho, there was some counties that got hit hard in some of the nursing homes and things like that. But other than that, Idaho's been pretty. It's kind of isolated too, so. Yeah, I'm done talking about that. Alright, so we're getting some of that arm work in there. I see coming together. And part of the problem is when you're filming this, it's like a big gray blob. And, it's hard to. No matter what the background is here, it's hard to discern what's going on. So let me pop some skeleton horde here on the axe handle, because that's definitely bone. See you, Zombie Dad. Thanks for popping by. James, this is called a Bloodthirster. It's from Games Workshop. It is for... Well, I have it for their Age of Sigmar fantasy wargame. But you can use it in their 40k game because it's just a demon. So it can play in a demon army or what's called a Khorne army, which is like a chaos demon faction. And so you can splash them into armies that have Khorne mortals. And yeah, it's a pretty good model. I was telling everybody earlier, this is like my reward model because I have a Khorne army in Age of Sigmar, and it's a bunch of little dweebs and mounted units and heroes, characters, stuff like that. And then this is kind of the centerpiece model. So as a reward, I try to do that. It doesn't always work out. But like one thing you'll see people do is they'll paint like the 40 Blood Reavers, and they're all just little men with axes and stuff. So that kind of feels like work sometimes. I can't angle this right. That's right. And then so you save the big cool model for the end as your reward. Although sometimes I end up just painting it all at the same time. Yeah, you can kind of see the skull, the bone. Okay. So James is asking how long it takes to put this together. It's a good question. I don't know. I put it together before we moved. A couple of months before we moved. It wasn't too bad to put together. I want to say it took an hour, but I don't really remember. No more than 2 hours, for sure. I mean, it could have been like an hour and a half. I just don't really remember. When I put stuff together, I usually watch TV. My wife and I'll have the news on. Or maybe she'll be watching a show that I'm not into because there's some shows we watch together, some I watch, some she watches. So maybe she wants to watch a show that I'm not super into, but I have enough of an interest that I will keep my eye on what's going on. And then I get to hang out with my wife while I build stuff or paint stuff. What's that? Getting there. Looks kind of messy on the camera. Okay. So what else? So this whole hammer thing needs to be metallic. Need some silver on it. It's all too white still from the primer. Oh, hang on. Change the... So we're just going to hit all this stuff up here with the Griff Charger Gray, which will give it a little bit of a non-metal metallic look. A couple questions, Marshall. How much do I play board games with my wife? Almost never. I would say I could count on one hand the number of times per year. She's not big into it. But sometimes she does enjoy Ticket to Ride. She did enjoy Fog of Love, which we played the death out of that. We probably played that 7 or 8 times. And then, just kind of got rid of it. What else has she liked? Those are the two that stick in my head. Ticket to Ride, Fog of Love. Santorini. She really likes that game. That is a fun game. And then probably some others I'm not remembering. But yeah, just a handful of games she likes. So some new board orders. You know what though? The one thing that I kind of recommend a lot is there is a Learn to Paint kit from Reaper. And that's Reaper Bones. You know, they make the Bones miniatures. And you can get a kit, and it comes with 3 miniatures. You don't have to prime them because the Reaper miniatures, the type of plastic that they use, really the only thing you really should do with those is just scrub them with a toothbrush and warm soapy water. That's it. So just get a little cup, fill them with some warm soapy water, throw a toothbrush in there, scrub them a little bit. You probably don't even have to do that, but I found sometimes that you need to like release whatever bonding agent was in the miniature with those. I don't usually do that with any miniatures except those and like some metal and resin ones. But if you get the Learn to Paint kit from Reaper Bones, get that. It comes with a bunch of paints, comes with some brushes, and then the 3 miniatures which don't belong to any game that you own, right? So if you screw them up, who cares? Because you haven't ruined any game. And inside there's a little kind of instruction booklet or rule book, and it teaches you some basic techniques, for painting. And that's how I started. And I've seen a lot of other people use that, and I've recommended it to people, and everybody seems to have gotten back to me, that has gotten back to me and that they've really enjoyed it. So I definitely recommend that, for sure. Oh, Chad's here. Chad's in the house. This is not a cooking stream, Mr. Roberts. If you want it to be, I can make it a cooking stream, but this evening there's no cooking going on. I'm trying to paint this little wobbly ding 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 thing here. It's not holding still for me. It's very wobbly. But yeah, back to the Learn to Paint kit from Reaper. Definitely recommend that. And then if you want to try contrast paints, forget everything that booklet in the kit tells you. Yeah. GW should do that. They should make like a contrast Learn to Paint kit, and they give you like a Space Marine and a Stormcast and then, something else. And they give you some contrast paints and some brushes with a little rules or instruction book, or maybe a series of videos you can scan a QR code with, because I think that would be really cool. Hey Sue, long time no talk. House is good, thanks for asking. Just getting a chance to paint here for a little bit. This is the first thing I painted since I moved. And since probably a few weeks, since I started moving. So it's the first thing I painted since February, basically, what it boils down to. Mrs. E is happy. She's very happy with this. We downsized because the kids are out of the house. So it's a smaller house, less to clean, less distance to shout at each other. If one person's upstairs, the other one's downstairs, you don't have to shout or, run up the stairs just to ask a simple question. It could just be, oh, hey, and there's just the next room there. So. Less cleaning, more gaming. That's correct. That's actually a cool idea there, Josh. Did this stupid thing just tell me that I got 100 messages? Did you guys see that? Anyway. Sorry, my chat here is a little different. Yeah, that's actually a cool idea to like paint, and then you can kind of just go over each area and be like, okay, do this here, And then here's the final product. So that way people can see, what that's kind of a neat idea. I think you were joking around, but that's actually great. So this friggin' chain thing is a lot of work for not much not much return. Let's see how this is looking. Hey, it's shaping up. It's getting some color in there. We're going to golden that up a little bit. Oh, there's a skull right in there. Can you see that? Yeah, right there. Make that brown. Shouting is a feature? Oh. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, I am a fan of Robert's channel, Sue. I haven't been able to watch him a lot lately because of the move and everything. My content consumption is way down, especially my podcast consumption. But yeah, I pop onto his channel here and there. I do enjoy his channel. Rob's one of the guys that kind of inspired me to start painting. He had a good painting 101 series or something like that a few years ago. And I was like, you know what? The way this guy's breaking this down, I need to give this a shot. Thanks for joining, Ian. Appreciate it. Good luck on the Pirates. Okay, so that skull's done. Can you see it in there? Yeah, there's that skull. Yeah, I really need to get some good lighting on these. Oh, that's good to hear. Sue, thanks for saying that. Oh, I've also got this fire down here. I should work on that a little bit. So the fire, where do you think the fire's coming from? It looks like it's probably coming from his foot. So that should be the light, like yellow. I didn't get any yellow out. Let's find some yellow. Take a peek here. Set this down. Yeah, here we go. Let's take this off here. Let's see. I didn't want to go too long here. About an hour and a half. So I'll go about another 30 minutes. And then, like I was telling people earlier, I'll finish this up because now I know for sure I will not finish this within the 2-hour range. Post pictures of it on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. So this will probably show up better, actually. Let's get on this side. This one I'm going to try to do all the sides. Then it does look like the fire's coming out of the ground, but why? Should be coming out of his foot. He should be making the fire. And then we're going to blend in a little bit. We're going to throw a little contrast medium on it, like this. Just get some on there. Like that. Blend that in. Gonna hit this along the along the bottom of the yellow that I put down there, like that. And then a little bit of red. Water it down just a bit. Do it from the bottom up and sort of try to blend them together. So you can get sort of the different flames. It doesn't look great on camera. Yeah, so Ian was only on here for probably about, 20 minutes maybe. So Just some little background noise for him probably while he was drawing his pirates. Yeah, that's looking alright. Get that deeper red here on the bottom. Blend that up. Try to just smooth these together. The yellow and the red. Yeah, that's alright. Not bad. Okay. Then we'll throw the horde down here. This I'm just going to slop on, because I do want some of that red to come in. And I don't care what happens to the bottom of the base, because I'm going to put basing on that. Is that not focusing there? Yeah. Okay. I'll get this stuff here. So Ron's asking if I use other paints. Mostly, I still use contrast only, but I mean, I have used kind of the traditional. What I used before was Vallejo game and model paints with GW washes, and then I would use sometimes like a GW layer or dry brush stuff, you know, for highlighting things. But yeah, but I've been mostly using contrast, not exclusively, but mostly. Sorry, little parts there. Color scheme, yeah, it's. Do I have any painted stuff? I'd have to dig it out. Yeah, my corn scheme is basically red. But yeah. I haven't posted. I do have a geek list on Board Game Geek that is all of my painting stuff. I'd have to find a link for it, but if you go look at some of my other painting videos, I usually have a link back to that. And I think I've posted all of my corn stuff in there, or maybe all of it. Yeah, as far as the basing goes, I have this stuff here. I got these skull sprues. There's just so many skulls, like you can kind of see here. There. And then they got little skulls here, like demon and alien skulls. And I sprayed this with, not Xandri dust, something else. So I just sprayed them all on the sprue here. This guy's going to just have a base full of skulls, basically, like a pile of them, which is appropriate. What TV shows have I enjoyed during the pandemic? Ozark, probably more than anything. We started with season 1 and we're almost done with season 3, which I understand is the last season, so please nobody spoil that. And Ozark we watched. What else? We watched another show. Ozark's the big one. Gosh, if I think of another one, but Ozark's been kind of our main show that we've watched here. Yeah, Space Hulk is I don't really like Space Hulk actually. Lots of people love that game though. That's definitely. I think most people consider that a classic. James asking about what I think of the Army Painter washes. I like those. I have used those. I just tend to get Games Workshop stuff because that's what the stores here carry. And they also carry the Vallejo stuff. They do. The one in town actually does carry Army Painter stuff. So, but I typically am like, the only reason I go to the one locally is if I know exactly what I need, like a wash or some kind of contrast paint or something. I'll go in just for that. Fleabag. Sorry, Fleabag is amazing. We watched that I think right before the pandemic and stuff hit. We binged through season 1 and season 2. Holy cow. That show just like... I recommend... That's probably not for everybody, but I loved it. I loved every instance of that show. And I really loved season 2. I loved how it ended. I loved the fact that they're not going to do anymore because I think it was a really good, succinct story. I loved all the characters in it. Everything's great. That's a great show. Oh, there's a Twitch comment. So in case you don't know, I'm streaming on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook all at once. Most of the comments have been from YouTube. But yeah, Zenpunk, Fleabag's great. And yes, Anabolic, I will be reviewing Frostgrave 2nd Edition. I can't wait for that. That's going to be great. Really excited for Frostgrave 2nd Edition. So I need to hit some gold on this. Let me see how this looks on the corn symbol right here. Slap some gold on that. It's not gold. This is Agorist Dunes. But you can cheat. It looks kind of like a brassy gold. If you put it in the right spot on the right thing. Thanks, Jell, for joining. If you're still on. Appreciate it. The Expanse is great. I keep up with religiously. So when they released it on Amazon, was it season 4? Yeah, season 4 was the new one. I binged that sucker so quick. I really liked The Expanse, and then Tiger King. We watched that too. We did totally watch that. Yeah, I mean, it was definitely entertaining. I really felt bad for the Tigers, so I had difficulty with that. But it's, I mean, what a wild thing, obviously. It was crazy. Too crazy. There was a show, when you say Tiger King, that reminded me of a show that I watched afterwards that was like, well, I was like, oh, this is like the opposite. Okay. So we got caught up on Sex Education, which is a Netflix show. It was in season 2. That got released, I think January, February, but we didn't watch it right away, season 2, when it came out. Sex Education is great. I did not really think I would like it because it's kind of like about high school kids. And so I was like, it's the kind of show I would have liked when I was in high school or college or something. But it's really good. Like, it's really well done. It's an amazing show, actually. So that one, and then there's another miniseries that was on Netflix that was about a... give me a minute. It was about a Jewish girl, a Hasidic Jewish girl, so a very Orthodox Jewish girl. It's based on a true story, but it's dramatized into miniseries. Gosh, I can't remember the name of it. Holy cow. If somebody knows the name of that series on Netflix, it's I believe it was a 4-part or 6-part miniseries, and that was it. Really just amazing show. Very good. Yeah, so those are the ones that I've been watching too. Thanks for jogging my memory on that one. The best paints for metallics. I think Vallejo's game paints. I really like their golds and their silvers. And they got brass and stuff. I really like those. I do like the Retributor armor from GW. There's a nice cheat if you're painting Stormcast and you want to use the gold scheme. Just base them with Retributor armor and then paint the shoulder pads and the swords and whatnot, and then you're done. And the cape, that's super easy. But yeah, as far as like just, pure metallic paints, which I feel like I might end up hitting this guy with, I like the Vallejo ones personally. So Sue's saying the bad guy from Game of Thrones. That's it. Unorthodox. Thank you, Sue. That's great. High recommend on that one. Who's the bad guy from Game of Thrones and Expanse? Oh yeah. Yeah. The guy from season 4. He was one of the Night's Watch, but he basically turned traitor. In Craster's Keep. Yeah, that guy's a jerk. He's a jerk in both shows. I'm just going here with the gold here on this guy. Yeah, Citadel stuff with the metallics, I don't know. It doesn't shine enough. I don't know what it is. But the Vallejo stuff, I really like those metallics. I will use a lead belcher spray sometimes, but I don't know. I prefer Vallejo as far as metallics goes. All right, so he's getting there. What's bothering me about this? Oh, this is. Yeah. So let me get some metallic on his belt. And then let's do the skeleton head. Get that in there. Oh no, that's fine. It's a paint and chat. That's the name of the video. Paint and chat. So we're doing both. It's an experiment. So I think the chatting's going okay. The painting, the painting needs some work. I think I kind of want to get this set up so that I could have like a guest on. So I said this before, but see James. Thanks for joining. Because this is going to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And so the software that I'm using, I think there's a good way to host other people so I can have a guest on, or somebody else. So there can be some sort of interaction on screen. There's some interaction sort of vicariously through everything that's going on here with the chat and everything, but so we can interact with chat and with each other back and forth, kind of bounce, so you're not just hearing the same Optimus Prime voice or whatever that guy said earlier. So there we go. Getting there. This has to be red. I've not heard of Fortitude. That's on Amazon. You know what I do like on Amazon is that what's the one with like the super soldier that's like a teenage girl? That's a really cool show. There's a lot of stuff I haven't watched on Amazon now, like Jack Ryan. I still haven't watched that. Some other ones. I did watch Fleabag. Fleabag's great. What was that one? It was just like a girl's name. It was like Brianna or something, but it wasn't Brianna. They're coming out with season 2 for that pretty quick. Fortitude. I'll have to check out Fortitude. But you said it kind of gets a little over the top. Supernatural stuff. I don't usually mind that. I have been watching the Star Trek Picard. I thought that was pretty good. I still like Discovery better. But I enjoyed it. There was just some certain episodes in the middle that Not Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is a Marvel thing on Netflix. That's also good. I really enjoyed all 3 seasons of Jessica Jones. I mean, it's not... Jessica Jones kind of suffers... All those Marvel TV shows on Netflix suffer from there being 13 episodes, and they could probably be 10. Every single one of those seasons of The Punisher, Daredevil, Jessica Jones. I couldn't get through Luke Cage or Iron Fist. What stinks, Iron Fist I don't care about, but Luke Cage I really wanted to like because I really liked his character on Jessica Jones. But there was something about the villain in Luke Cage. There was like 2 or 3 different villains, and then one of the villains bothered the heck out of me. It's just, that was really bland. Yeah, What We Do in the Shadows. I've heard good stuff about that one. I need to watch that. Oh, I'll paint over here on the side. Trying to get this back of this guy's arm here. Okie dokie. Alrighty, he's getting there. Need to make this gold. Yeah, it's kind of gold. Like a gold emblem there on the thigh pad. Hannah, that's the show. Thanks, Sue. Hannah's great. They're coming out with season 2 here pretty quick on that. I need to check of when that's due. I think there was a little delay, because of the COVID, but should be pretty soon. Thingamarab, this is from Warhammer, Age of Sigmar. This is a Bloodthirster. So it's also from Warhammer 40k because it's a demon from Games Workshop. So you can use it in either 40k or Age of Sigmar or Fantasy. I'm sure it'll still be working the new Fantasy coming out in like 2 years. There's that skull there. Alright, so we're getting pretty close to as long. I've been doing this about 2 hours. This is about how long I wanted to do it. And then I'm going to finish this up like I was saying earlier. Get some details on it. And maybe next time I won't pick a model. It takes 2 hours just to cover in a base coat. So Nick is saying the chat seems to go through quicker. I don't know. I mean, I'm using something called Restream. So I'm streaming from my software on my computer to another service. And then that service is pumping out the stream to Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook all at once. So, I don't know. I think most people don't do that. I have seen some people do that. But it seems so easy to me to do that I thought, why not just have it go all the way to all 3? And you can do like a lot more. I don't know. So yeah, so I think I'm going to start wrapping up. But any feedback you guys have on this, or I'll try to next time I do this because I will try this again. I'll try to do a better job out here in terms of presenting the miniature, so you can get some real good detail on what I'm painting and stuff. It seems I don't think this model's that great because it's, like I said, it seems to kind of cast shadows over itself, and then I think there might be a slight focus problem, and then it's big, so I'm just spending a lot of time getting it covered, and it's really just a base coat. that I've got so far. But yeah, thought I would give this a shot. Because as I said earlier, I was going to do this for Origins Online, and that fell through. So yeah, so I appreciate it, Ron. Good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I've enjoyed chatting with everybody, that's for sure. That's at least fun. That's half the battle, the chat of the paint and chat. Yeah, it is a look at this thing. I mean, it's on there good. It's a very. I mean, it's all light. The plastic's pretty light, you know. Like if it was metal, this would be really rough to get that to hang out. Yeah, what time is it? Oh, it's almost dinner time. I gotta go get some Thai food. Tuesdays are Thai night. So anyway, thanks again. Appreciate it. And if you're watching this after the fact, thanks for watching then too. And take care of yourselves. And next week I'll probably just do a normal review or something. But I'll try to do this a little bit sporadically with the paint and chat stuff. And appreciate everybody coming and hanging out and all that stuff. So anyway, thanks. Bye.